what you get! My super laser flare!
Finally! The second Sonic Movie 3 trailer has hit the YouTube! And from the clips I've seen, this is easily the best thing since sliced cheese. Like, I'm so excited I could bash a hole in my desk right now, but I won't. Rather, I'll give all my excitement to you through a epic reaction. Can I get it, bro fist? But seriously, from the little bits I saw skimming through this just to make sure it was legit and I wasn't getting scammed, there's some absolutely crazy stuff here. But I'll save most of my comments and thoughts till after we react, because there's certain things like time travel that I want to talk about, which will very clearly be prevalent themes in this movie, as well as how the general themes of SA2, it appears, will come over and I think affect the entire story. But almost every single individual point has been tweaked to better fit the film, and so far every single decision I've seen actually seems like a really good one. I know, Hollywood writers making good decisions, I'm shocked too. So I'm clearly pumped. Without further ado, let's just get into it. But first, I'm holding you up at gunpoint, and your family. They're also held up. And if you want everyone to get out of this situation safely, you're going to drop a like, double check your subs, and if you want the family pet to make it out all right, you're going to set the notification to all, because I don't even upload that often. So you might as well get a notification when I do. And with that, I can't contain my excitement any longer. I don't want to wait even 5 more seconds. So let's just jump into it. Play it! I've waited for this moment.
Here we go.
Let's go. Chow!
What is this den of madness?
It's Chow.
Detective Pikachu?
It
What?
does look like a Pokemon. Pika,
Pokemon
Pika.
are canon in the Sonic movie universe?
What? Get down.
Oh no, all the innocent Chow. Please give Shadow a gun. Please give Shadow a gun.
Finally, we will have our revenge.
But what good is a dastardly plot if you can't conspire with family?
There's 2
So,
Eggman now?
I guess it's not a hallucination or dream. Ivo and Gerald are just really there. And they're
Nice
working with
magic
Shadow.
marble, real
At least for now.
scary.
Oh, like a black hole? Knuckles got them grippers. And chompers, I mean. Grippers are feet. Okay, the donut sweater.
Maddie,
It kind
we
of
need your
goes
help
hard.
on a super... Knuckles, do you mind?
Oh, excuse me.
Tom, Maddie, we need your help on a super dangerous top secret mission.
We're in.
Are you ready?
How they become GUN, I don't know. The wide angle.
All right, boys, try and keep up.
This looks
Come
so
on,
good.
Granddaddy-O. We've got
Dirt to do.
with shadows powered.
Why does he look sad? Oh, I shouldn't ask this. I probably know why he's Shadow sad.
There won't be anything left to rule.
The arc?
That is dark.
The arc is dark.
Somebody better call Google Maps.
Life's all about the choices we make. Remember to listen to your heart. You're gonna make the right choice when it matters the most.
He has a gun. This is not a drill.
The more you talk, the harder I want to hit you.
Oh, he wants to do more than hit him.
This ends now.
Our destiny awaits.
Is it going to be like SA2 where he realizes his grandfather was like bad? He goes, oh man, I was the bad guy all along.
Now.
I am so excited for this. What could the possible context of that even be? What could be happening there? Whew, so there's a lot to go over. First thing I want to touch on is the Chow Garden being a like Chuck E. Cheese type place in the movie. It is here, so you guys can't complain no Chow Garden, but they aren't like actual alien creatures. They don't really exist. It's just a fictional universe, which some will find disappointing. I actually like. I think it's pretty interesting that they even included them. So zero upsetness from the raccoon here. We see prison Ivo Robotnik in his orange jumpsuit. Actually, I meant Gerald. With his plan for the Ark and its laser, which presumably this is a flashback from way back then when it was created and Project Shadow was started. Not sure what the movie universe canonical years of this happening are, but just know it was a long time ago. And we also now know that time travel will play a part in this, and not just the third act, which we know from the storyboards. But Gerald Robotnik being here is not a hallucination, it's not a dream, it's not psychedelically induced or anything like that. He's like actually here in real time. We see it when Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles are locked up. And if Sonic's able to see it, that definitely means it's not in Robotnik's head. So I'm not quite sure how time travel will play into this, as it's kind of a weird concept. but we do know it will play into this. Also, Shadow is working with them, so I imagine that aspect will kind of loosely follow Sonic Movie 2, where here Shadow gets tricked. The only major difference I can imagine being Knuckles joins the squad. He's the third member of the team. He becomes a Wachowski, as much as it pains me to say that. However, I do not think that will be the case for Shadow. He's always been kind of a distant rival, and I don't think they're going to be under the same house, buddy, hanging out, playing tennis or whatever. Also, I already said it, but Tom's donut sweater, at first I was like, okay, it feels a little hammed in. We get it, Donut Lord. It's been really forced on us since the first movie. But I have to say, the sweater kind of goes hard. I imagine the boys made it, which is why he's wearing it. We see in the same shot that they're literally doing puzzles and have made many pieces of bread, so presumably Tom and Maddie have a lot of time of doing nothing, which is why they immediately agree to go on this mission, even though it's explicitly said it will be dangerous.
Pop, Maddie, we need your help on a super dangerous top secret mission.
We're in.
Also, Rachel, her husband, Tom, and Maddie are all part of GUN, at least, like, somewhat. And I think that dynamic will be really interesting to see in this movie because many people felt like their roles in Sonic 2 were kind of a waste of time. And even though I personally like them, I think the Hawaii scene was actually really good. People want more action and less, like, narrative and jokes and stuff. So with them being in the role of GUN, I imagine their roles in this movie will be much more significant now. Oh, also, the Tails jetpack, a lot of people are mad about that. They're like, why does he need that? He can fly. Guys, even if in the games he's sometimes as fast as Sonic, that's just for the purpose of it being a video game and not being unfair or kind of lame that your sidekick is way behind you. But canonically, Sonic is way faster than Tails, and we even do see it in a lot of game cutscenes. He'll fly off and Tails will just kind of follow behind. And in the sense of a movie, of course he's not going to be as fast as Sonic. Sonic's like the fastest thing alive. And Tails is the engineer who makes gadgets and stuff, so I think it makes total sense that he created a jetpack to try to keep up. It's a very Tails thing to do. Also, the wide angle, I can imagine, I haven't seen any of it yet because the trailer just came out, but I imagine everyone's going to be screenshotting and memeing on this part, being like,
OMG, it looks so bad.
but it's just a goofy little angle change. It's CG. They're able to do that because since there was a kind of an actor strike going on, there's going to be a lot more fully CG scenes in this movie than any of the other ones, and I actually think that's going to be a really good thing. It just depends on how they're able to balance it with the scenes featuring physical actors on set. I think it's interesting that Ivo, you know, the real Robotnik, I'm just going to refer to him as Eggman from now on, has the in-game canonical Eggman outfit, and Gerald even has a variation of that but in white, which in my theory, and this isn't a spoiler because it's literally just, I made this up in my head, it's a theory, but I feel like they're going to take the SA2 route where Eggman was surprised what his grandfather did and was like, wait, that wasn't the goal. We weren't trying to destroy everything.
I looked up to my grandfather because of all the great things he accomplished in his life. Did he really mean to destroy us?
And works with Sonic to stop it. Happening similarly here, but instead of learning throughout the history that his grandfather was bad, since he's here in the flesh, actually seeing it happen, which I think will work way better for a movie than just adapting the game one-to-one here. And with this almost certainly being the final movie to feature Robotnik, to give him a degree of character redemption towards the end would be a really nice ending overall. Another thing I want to touch on is we see in the ashes with fire around him, a sad and angry looking Shadow, like really sad looking, and I can probably imagine what's happening here. We already saw the pod was destroyed. We even know from the trailer there is 0% chance of Maria's survival. However, I don't necessarily know if she'll be shot or not. I think they'll probably just end her through some other means, and I don't really care if they do or don't shoot her. I think it's slightly weird to be like, oh man, you're telling me they're not gonna shoot the kid? Oh, come on. And the point of the story is about Shadow's loss. It's not about how the loss happens, which we know this is literally Shadow's entire character motivation. Also, the moon getting split in half is gonna happen here as well. I always thought that was kind of a silly plot point in SA2, but I guess now it's canonical to the movie universe as well. The part I'm perhaps the most excited about, even though it will likely be very short-lived, is Shadow has a gun. The movie is PG, so it's not like a gun. It looks like it's like a laser or something. It's not a real gun. But, you know, I'm willing to let that slide, and I actually think it's a pretty good compromise, since besides the very tip of it, it just looks like a cool custom pistol. I also want to mention, we hear hear a lot more of Keanu's shadow here.
When we're done, there won't be anything left to rule.
And even though I was skeptical at first, I gotta give credit where credit's due. He actually sounds really good in the voice of Shadow. I was worried that since Keanu Reeves is honestly pretty old, that instead of sounding gruff, Shadow would just sound like that, old. But I think he did a good job, and I actually like this interpretation of Shadow. I think Keanu's Shadow actually might be better than Ben Schwartz's Sonic. And that might be a hot take. I might get crucified for that, but I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. In these movies, it's not really clear what the motivation is. Like at first, it's to capture Sonic, right? But then in the second movie, he makes the Death Egg robot, and it's like, what's your goal here? You're not even trying to capture Sonic. You're just kind of destroying things, but is that the goal? I don't even know what you're trying to accomplish. So in this movie, are they just trying to like destroy the world together? Is that the goal? Which, what does that even accomplish? Just destroying Earth. Okay, cool. Ironically, at that point, the only place that would exist is the land where all these characters he apparently hates comes from. And that's not really explained yet. We know there's echidnas and owls, and I guess Sonic is alone, the last hedgehog there. It's not really clear where anything is happening. Even Tails, he came to follow and track Sonic and help him, but like, where did Tails even come from? A lot of these characters' origins aren't quite explained in the movie universe yet, and to be honest, I'm not sure if that's going to change with this movie. There's a very good chance that's just going to be kept ambiguous and unknown to the audience until really the end of time. Also, the scene at the very end with Robotnik soy jacking and seeing his grandfather as Santa, I assume it's a flashback or something, or some sort of dream sequence, because what the actual could possibly be happening here? I just can't imagine. I'm trying so hard to think about it, and nothing is coming to my head. Oh, also, I can't believe I didn't mention it, but Pokemon is canon in the Sonic movie universe.
He does look like a Pokemon. Pika Pika!
Sonic does not exist as a game series here, but Pokemon does, which is low-key a Nintendo victory. Even in their own movies, Nintendo is still more popular than Sega. I don't even own a Switch, but I have to admit, that's a total Nintendo W. Now, if only Detective Pikachu 2 were to reference Sonic, then we're cooking. Also, we see the prelude to it with all the GUN soldiers pulling up on Shadow in Tokyo, and I'm gonna call it right now. That is going to be one of the best scenes in the movie, because I don't think Shadow's just going to run away like a bitch. No siree. Shadow is going to all of them. And maybe not like actually do it. Maybe he'll just like knock him out. But regardless of that, it's going to be a bad scene for sure. And again, I'm saying it. One of the best in the movie. However, as a whole, I actually think this movie's going to be so peak. I know some people say Sonic movie 1 is better than 2. I completely disagree in like every single way. And I think it's only going to get better with Sonic movie 3. In fact, call me crazy. I know this is going to sound kind of insane, but this might just be the best video game movie to ever release, and not even like until now. Even after this, there won't be a better one. This is going to be it. This is going to be peak for all video game movies forever. That could be crazy. I could be glazing, but that's how I feel right now. I'm excited through the roof. And if you're excited, drop a like, double check your sub. I'm going to be reviewing it, obviously, when it comes out, and I'm going to be covering more Sonic news. I know I've been kind of slow, been dealing with all these different issues behind the scenes, from copyright and all these other things, which I will cover. But just know, I'm working hard to make content for you guys, and a lot will be coming out around this holiday season. So with that, like, sub, let me know what you think about this, because I cannot be the only one glazing over Sonic Movie 3. I am glazing this. Krispy Kreme donuts, I am glazing it. And that's all. Lots of love, and bye. Peace, bye. I don't remember how I end videos anymore. Bye-bye. Oh, also join my Discord. It's pretty epic.